States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You'll remain standing for the invocation.
Let us bow our heads. Father, we thank you for a wonderful day that you've already given us, Lord, and I pray over this meeting. May our hearts be open to your will and open to your thoughts and to guide us and strengthen us. Lord, we pray over every person's heart and we pray over this city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Clerk, take the roll.
All right. Excuse me. Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlack.
Present.
Councilman Valerius. Present. Councilwoman Syke.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally.
Here.
Treasurer Armstrong is asked to be excused, and Mayor McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. May I have a motion for approval or correction of the agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius,
Support.
support by Mr. Blevins. Any comments, corrections, changes?
The correction to Resolution 2 to say with funds from the 2019 CBDG. Second line.
We have that.
So noted, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Any other changes or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Can I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius,
Second.
second by Mr. Lally. Any corrections, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That has been approved. And we are on to organizational business, and we're going to fill a few more commissions. Memo to council indicates that I am recommending the following for appointment. To the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, I'm appointing John Kazoo with a term to expire December 31st, 2022. To the Downtown Development Authority, Dr. Frank Stankiewicz with a term to expire 12/31/2023. And to the Historical Commission, Bridget Slack, whose term will expire 12/31/2024. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Syke.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. All in favor?
Madam,
Opposed?
Go ahead.
Madam Mayor, I have a question. Since that is my wife and I don't have a conflict of interest, should I abstain from this vote, or how does the rest of council feel on that action?
I think the clerk feels it's fine.
It does state in our charter a financial interest, so you'd be well within your realm to vote. It'd be completely legal.
Okay.
I do honor the integrity though, but yeah, it's not a fun. Yeah, just don't vote. Yeah.
I don't feel like being on the couch for the remainder of the year, maybe longer.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. And if the individuals who are present would please come up to be sworn in.
Yep, you guys line up right over there. I'll be right there.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm not going to make you guys repeat after me. I'm going to read it, and at the end, say I do, I swear, I affirm, whatever you feel comfortable with. When we are done, I'm going to hand you these, just sign them and keep them. I already have a copy in our office stating you did it. So, okay, can I have you guys raise your right hand, please? All right. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of Downtown Development Authority member, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority member, and Historical Commissioner to the best of your abilities, so help you God. All right, congratulations. John, add it to your collection.
Yeah.
Once again, I want to thank all of you for volunteering and showing your fellow residents and business owners what it means to participate in your city. We do value you very much and appreciate very much the time that you give to us and to the city. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents of Allen Park. Just a couple updates. We had a new pressure reducing valve was installed in the pit at the Park Avenue and Moore Road. This is the same pit that's also used by GLWA, so we're able to partner with them and save a lot of cost to do that. The PRV, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, I think when we awarded it, but the PRV will help reduce the pressure spikes from GLWA. So being close to the plant, usually what will happen is if they increase the pressure, we'll see those pressure spikes and we'll get a lot of water main breaks. Hopefully what will happen here, pressure reducing valve will catch those and be able to put them back to a normal pressure and not have that spike. It'll take the impact as opposed to the pipes themselves. So hopefully we'll see less water main breaks in the future in that neighborhood. And I think there's 3 more that need to go in, 1 more that needs to go in. I always like to be corrected here quickly. We're right on time here. Sorry about that, Tom. 2 are going in total in the different areas that'll help cover our worst impacted areas. The installation of new water meters is set to begin in April. Residents will be receiving a blue notice card with information and instructions to schedule an appointment. There will be 2 more notice cards that will be sent out, but failure to have the meter changed will result in your service being interrupted. I think that's the nicest way to say that your water's going to be shut off if you don't have your meter changed. So make sure you go ahead and do that. I know we had a couple questions on Facebook. People are going to be gone, and they're maybe still down in Florida or Arizona or someplace a lot warmer than here. This is going to be about a 4 to 5 month process, so I think we'll be able to get everybody in that time when they come back from their trips and so forth. I was going to mention pitchers and catchers, I think, report in 2 days, so maybe tomorrow. I think maybe it's tomorrow, so warm weather is on its way. The Department of Public Service has a job opening for a public service worker. That application and just job description is on the city's website. Posting for that closes on the 28th of February. It does go into detail for what the benefits are. It does go into detail for what the pay is, and a lot of other information that the applicant would like to have. But they will need to make sure they do fill out an application and get that submitted to our website that's listed, or to our email that's listed there. It's hrsearch@allenpark.org. cityofallenpark.org. So we will have that opening and we'll get that addressed here in a couple weeks. I think we have definitely 1 opening now. I got an announcement here later. I think we may have a second one coming up as well. The opening date for the Marriott Town Place Suites, which is being built on the old City Hall property, is scheduled for sometime in April. As we get that date closer, I'll announce that so we can get, probably going to have a ribbon cutting, I imagine, over there with the mayor, the council, the chamber, the DDA, as we've done in the past with those the other 2 hotels. This one's, we are working with a landscape contractor to determine the best way to shield the HVAC units at the library. Very well aware that there's an issue there as you drive by. That was the most effective way for the system to operate. I know that there's a lot of tunnels with piping and so forth. Some landscaping will have to be used over there for some screening, and we'll make all that work. So we are well aware of that, and we will get that addressed here as the springtime comes around. Had the 2 employees that reached a milestone this year, and actually they reached it on Friday, and that's Joe Meekins in the Water Department, 20 years of service, and Mark Eulenberg, also from the Water Department. He'll have 20 years of service on February 14th. I also received notification that Joe Meekins is planning to retire on April 2nd. So as we're advertising for 1 public service worker, we'll now be looking to probably hire 2 public service workers. And so that'll be part of that whole process as well. Just a reminder that the city offices will be closed Monday for President's Day. And then I'm looking forward to the 25th of February meeting. The school district will be here to do a quick presentation on the bond proposal that they have on the March 10th ballot, which I believe, Mike, is that a non-homestead renewal?
Yeah, it is a I don't know the exact language, but the one thing I do know is that it's non-homestead.
Okay, so non-homestead renewal for the school district. So they'll be here probably about a 10, 15-minute presentation.
I believe it's a Headley override, I'm pretty sure is what they're asking
Okay,
for.
so we'll get that information. That's why they're going to be here.
Yeah,
So they
perfect.
can educate all of us. But I do know that is on the March 10th ballot, which is the presidential ballot. So there are other items on there. The school district has the ballot here in Allen Park. Melvin Northern Allen Park has a ballot proposal for their school project, as well as I know the DIA has a ballot proposal on here as well throughout the county as well. I believe the fire chief may be ready to make an announcement at the next meeting on a grant that he was awarded, which he wants to make sure is all in place before he announces it, because there'll be overwhelming demand. He wants to be ready for that. And then I also heard from our attorneys for one of our cases. They'll need to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation, and that's with Aubrey Forbush and Diane Wynn from the Michigan Municipal League. So next meeting, we're going to be a little busy. So, and that is all I have.
May I have a motion to accept
Motion.
and file? Mr. Blevins,
Second.
second by Mr. Schlug. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Public comments. Anyone wishing to come up and comment, feel free. If there are any questions that need to be answered and we don't have the answer, there should be a form up there that you can fill out and we can get back to you.
Step up to the mic.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me come up and address the council. I'm a longtime resident of Allen Park, have raised my kids.
Just, all we ask is that you give your name and the street on which you live.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I should have said that.
My name is Susan White. I live on Park.
Thank you.
I've raised my kids here, and my grandkids live here. They go to school here. I love this city, and I don't think I'd want to live anywhere else. I'm retired now, and I'm not planning on leaving. So one thing that I have a question on is, as an avid walker, and I know many of us are, the sidewalks are in dire need of some ordinance enforcement, for lack of a better term. I think we're in a position where, you know, we can't afford as a city to replace the bad sidewalks, nor is it our responsibility as a city, even though many people, since it's been so long since we've enforced the ordinance, are under the impression that the city is supposed to take care of that. I love what we're doing with the roads. I'm so happy about the millage and how that's working, and you drive through the city and the roads are getting repaired and it's much better. It's going back to the old Allen Park that I moved into over 30 years ago, so I'm really happy about that. But I would like to know if the city has any plans on enforcing the ordinances as far as the sidewalk repairs and replacement goes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor Ray McGusson-Quant. Got a couple questions. When we get to this resolution on Boston Market, you can kind of go over that just a little bit? That I don't understand what that looks like. That looks like we have some kind of contract with Boston Market. Is that Boston Market that's over here, or, you know, or who are they? Next thing is, I see we're going to buy a brand new Explorer 2020. But I see it also says Parks and Rec for senior transportation. Are we using vehicles like that to transport seniors all around our city now? I thought we have smart buses. That's just a question. Mm-hmm. And is that what it's going to be just for? Just for that? Another thing I'm going to bring up is our DPW does a great job, but in the last snowfall, when it was pretty heavy, and that snow was extremely, extremely heavy, it took a lot of energy for a lot of us seniors, including my plow, including myself, to try to clear my walkway off. Now, that snow was extremely heavy. So I went ahead and I did that. I did my neighbors, and I also cleaned off my approach and into the street. In about less than an hour, maybe an hour, what happened was a plow went past, went approximately 30 miles an hour, and I'm not joking, took the snow, shoved it all the way up into my lawn, including our neighbor's lawn, covered us, and not only that is, it froze. Then that was extremely hard to remove. But the funny thing about that whole deal was, he didn't even get close to the curb. He missed the curb by at least a foot. Now, I'm not here to go ahead and throw them under the, I'm not here to say they did a terrible job. I'm just saying, I don't understand why they had to go 30 miles an hour and then to turn around and to cover me again with more snow and heavier snow than I originally had. And then it took all the strength in the world for me to go ahead and try to clean my walkway again. And there's seniors around me, and we take care of us. We are in a good neighborhood, and that's what we try to do. So I was just curious if that can be addressed in the future. Hopefully you don't get a snowfall like that, this year. But I just don't understand why they had to go so fast and had to recover us. I mean, I never seen that happen in all my years of, living here. So with that, have a great day, and thank you very much. And also with that, Gail, Mayor, I would like to thank you the new procedure you have in effect to recognize our new commissioners. It's a great way of introducing the commissioners to the citizens, and this way the citizens do know who the person is. And with that, thank you very much, and have a great day.
If there's no other citizens coming up, we'll close the public.
I'll do one. Hi, I'm Roy Bryant on Kolb. See, I normally would have just been here for my government class, but I just thought to bring this up. See, when I walk home on Cortland, there's this light on E-course that, for some reason, the light's out. And I was thinking about a way to fix that light, because you never know if some person who walks will ignore that light because it's out. I think it would be safe to try to get that fixed soon.
You could do me a favor, if you could fill out that form with
This one?
Yes, with the particulars on it.
This one?
Yes, so that we can follow up on that.
Okay.
Okay, you can take it back to the seat. Thank you. Well, if there's no other public coming up, we will close that section and move on to, all I have to do is find my agenda. Our consent agenda. Under our consent agenda, we have purchasing actions, claims and accounts, and the payroll report, finance actions, which are your January 2020 finance overview, budget to actual report, balance sheet and cash flow, and licenses and permits. We have 3 from the DDA for the farmers market, which will start on June 5th through October 30th, Pedals and Pets on May 30th, and the Classic Car Show on June 17th. I think we're all looking forward to that. And Jennifer, if I could just ask, the farmers market is going to be in that new location that you used last year? Great, that seemed to be very successful there. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
That was Mr. Schlack. I'm sorry, you're talking all at once. Second,
We could
Here.
arm wrestle.
Mr. Lloyd?
Nope.
No, Mr. Lally. Your lips are moving. Are there any questions, concerns, comments? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Moving now to resolutions. First resolution is to amend the contract with the Boston Market Corporation and extend an additional 5 years to February 7th, 2025, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign the amendment to contract of the lease.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Psych. That would be Lally and Psych. Any questions?
Just one comment. Just for Mr. Ray's comment about the Boston Market. It is the one for down on Southfield, and it's just parking spots behind the restaurant.
Yes, on that, we've had an agreement with them since 1991, I believe, and this is just a continuation. They take up minimal space and they maintain it, so it's just nice to get a little income from the spaces.
It's just like a little extra money for the Allen Park, that's all.
And also
They need to use it, by the way, yeah.
to meet the city ordinance.
Correct. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Resolution 2. The city administrators requested a resolution to purchase one 2020 Ford Explorer for the Parks and Recreation Senior Transportation Program for $28,995,000 with funds from the 2019 CDBG grant of $20,000 and SMART of $8,995 and bypass the city bid process. There's no economic advantage since using state bid. The vehicle will be purchased through the My Deal Extended Purchasing Contract number 4WDU0050A. Perhaps if Mr. Hawkins or Mr. Fulton could come up and explain the use of this vehicle.
Well, the primary use of this vehicle will be for senior transportation needed when a number of people use the service to go to the grocery store. We have a plan, we have a rule in place that they're allowed to bring back 10 bags. That's not followed a lot, and how are you going to tell somebody that they can't? They're going to have to put some groceries back. That's not going to happen. And the buses and the vehicles that we have are really not good for that. There's seats everywhere. The stuff rolls around. We mentioned this to our senior driver today, who was quite excited about it. And having a four-wheel drive gives us the ability to get through whatever we need to at certain times of the year.
I do have a question. What, is it a XL, I don't remember all the Explorer.
I don't believe, this year, I don't believe, it's the, how do we, it's a stripped-down vehicle, but today's stripped-down vehicles still have a lot of things on them.
Right.
The only additional thing we have is an extra key so that the motor vehicle pool will always have a key to it, and we'll have a pair of them. That's the only, it's the lowest priced.
Power windows aren't extra anymore.
No, they're not.
Dave,
Mr. Boomer, you have to let Mr. Boomer know that.
when Boomer buys a vehicle, it usually has crank windows, manual mirrors, and Bob, what else did it have?
Bedroom in the back?
But when I say a stripped-down vehicle, I can tell you what's the standard on it. It's not an XL, but it's what some of the XLs used to have. It's 4x4 cloth interior, 3.3 liter, AM, FM, CD, sync, MP3. Capless fuel filter, front tow hooks, aluminum wheels, power windows, locks, heated mirrors, blind spot mirrors, power driver seat, third row seating, tilt cruise, advanced track and roll, stability control, power disc brakes, airbags, traction control, and a rear view camera, and the third key is the only option.
I know what the question comes about is a four-wheel drive, and we do get a situation where if they are taking a resident to the store, it's inclement weather, this gives another option to be able to get them home safely. And the cost for a four-wheel drive, when you're dealing with the My Deal pricing, this is a $28,995 vehicle, which I believe if any of us went to buy it on the lot, it's probably $49,000 or at least $39,000. You're probably $10,000 to $15,000, $20,000 more. And when you're talking a four-wheel drive, we're talking maybe $1,000. So
I went
Less
to,
than, it was only about $600 difference between the two-wheel and the four-wheel.
I went to purchase, when I was purchasing my car, I purchased a 2019 Edge. I looked at the Explorer, and I'm glad that we purchased a 2020 as opposed to 2019, because the way that the drive system, it used to be a front-wheel drive in the 2019. So I'm happy to see that we're now getting the four-wheel drive, and that it should be a better vehicle. So,
Well, I know Councilwoman Syke, you asked about the Flex, and I looked through the My Deal program today. The large passenger cars, which that would be considered, was not awarded to Ford, so Flex doesn't come in the My Deal. 3 Chevrolets and 1 Dodge were awarded the large passenger vehicles.
Well, my biggest concern was them being able to get in, because I know especially that third row is really hard to get in.
We don't, to tell you the truth, I don't think we'll plan on using the third row because of that situation, but
Mainly for
as
cargo.
silly as it sounds, trying to bring back the goods that they purchase, and if they go to the Hill, they may purchase more than just groceries. They may be purchasing other things.
Sure.
And with the way all the benches and the seats are right now, it's not really conducive to bring a whole lot back.
See that?
if I may through the chair, I tried to put a little bit of a synopsis of what the My Deal program is. I know the council knew, we've had a couple of these here, and I know when you read it on the, the way it reads is we're gonna bypass this and it's something underhanded. The purpose of the My Deal program is, it's a state of Michigan's extended purchasing program that allows cities to buy goods and services from state contracts, directly benefiting from the reduced cost of goods and services and indirectly by eliminating the time needed to process bids. So we're not trying to do anything underhanded here. This is an open concept that the state uses. We actually pay a fee to be part of it. I think it's $230. But it allows us to go ahead and make purchases like this at a significantly reduced cost. And we don't have to go through the whole bid process and advertising and so forth. So it is very much of a time saver and an economic saver in that event as well.
I had a question. How many transportation vehicles do you have for this senior program at this
We have
moment?
4, correct, right now.
Right
We
now.
have 4.
Okay.
We have 2 from SMART, which are buses with handicap lifts. We have a TransConnect, which is a very small vehicle, low to the ground. And we have another Transit that is a 12-passenger vehicle, but we use the SMART one because of the handicap lift.
Okay, thank you.
We've had the other Transit for about 3 years. We didn't get that replacement from SMART until just in less than a year ago.
Any further? If not, can I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Valerius. Second, please.
Second.
Second by
Mr. Lloyd.
Mr. Lloyd. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Resolution number 3. Resolution to approve the purchase of a replacement Snap-on diagnostic scanner for the vehicle maintenance garage for $13,222.77 and bypass the city bid process. No economic advantage since it is a replacement and is compatible with existing software. And I think Mr. Murray will come up and tell us all about this scanner.
Hello. I don't know if I can tell you all about it. I'm not a mechanic per se. The last scanner we have currently, we purchased in 2009, and it has come to us that any purchases of vehicles from 2016 to current and beyond it does not support. So therefore, we need, since we're buying a lot of new equipment in the last 3 years, we need to purchase a new scanner to help us take care of any maintenance or problems with the current new vehicles that we're purchasing. With this, we will actually save a little bit of money on the old scanner, because the old scanner, every year you have to update it twice yearly for a fee, and then you have to pay for the software licensing per year. With the purchase of this, we will receive all that for 3 years at no other cost. So it's about $7,000 in savings, so it's really about $6,000 that's going to be added to the city to purchase this new equipment.
And as I understand in reading your memo, it covers the police, fire, parks and recreation, public services,
Yes.
water and sewer departments.
Pretty much almost every department except for the building department put money into it, but they don't have that new vehicles.
Well, you turn around.
We may have to modify this memo real fast.
Does anyone have any questions?
So all of our vehicles will be serviced with it, other than the building department's older cars? So
It's a newer scanner, but it goes back that far.
It'll go back that far, so
It
it'll
still
service.
services theirs too. I was just joking that they don't have any new equipment they've purchased other than one Edge in the last 3 years. So one vehicle I'm not gonna charge a department for when all the rest of the departments have upwards of 20 to 30 vehicles.
I was just making sure that all our vehicles would be covered
Yes, all
by the
vehicles will be
new.
covered, yes.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, and the scanner, as you told me before about the scanner, that's guaranteed for what now?
It's approximately 10 years that they
And
get
then
life cycles out
you
of it.
could, it's good for 10 years with all the vehicles coming up?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, fortunately, you need it because it's
If
old.
we're
and you
gonna work
can't
on
use
our
it.
own vehicles.
And
yeah,
then,
we
not
have to
just
have
for
it.
one, for everybody's vehicle in the department.
Correct.
Okay.
Any further questions? Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Lally,
Support.
supported by Mr. Blevins. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's approved. Resolution 4. Somebody's still standing here. Resolution to ratify the city administrator's action regarding the emergency rebuild of the Dix Horger Pump Station pump by Kennedy Industries in the amount of $19,935. Funding for this purchase will be from Basin Fund account 592603985. Mr. Murray.
You want explanations? So, Dix Horger Pump Station is other known as a bypass station. When we get a major wet weather event, if it's large enough, that station turns on automatically, 2 pumps in the station to throw in, unfortunately, sanitary into a storm sewer, so basements can therefore not be backed up. One of the pumps recently had a part come loose and a couple other things. The pumps are approximately 20 years old each. So the one had to be removed, inspected, and we got a bid on, or a quote basically, on what the repair of that pump would be. It's pretty crucial that we have 2, because now we're down to half. So therefore, we need an emergency repair on this pump.
And just to be clear, that pump was functioning, however.
Yes, it was functioning. And it was rattling is how our staff found out. They heard the rattle in it when we do a weekly test on the pumps where you run them for just a quick minute or 2 just to exercise them. They heard a rattle, they instantly shut it off so it didn't cause no more damage. Therefore, we had it pulled and checked and pulled apart and found a couple parts and worn out items that is normal with any pump of that age.
How long till the repairs are complete?
It could be anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. I actually talked to Kennedy Industries the other day, and they said that they could try to get it done within the next 2 to 3 weeks. This is what they do. This is their business. They build pumps, sell pumps. They're all about pumps.
They install them.
Yes, they install them.
If I can jump in here real fast, because what we're asking to do is ratify the action that I actually gave Tom. So typically what we would do is, this would have been before you tonight no matter what.
Right.
This was a normal procedure. Given the fact that this pump, this station would be down to 1 pump and only working at half capacity, whether it be for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or what, I just didn't feel that was a safe and alternative. I asked Tom, go ahead, or told Tom, go ahead and contact Kennedy, have them start the process now. We'll come back to council and ask for ratification on that. I don't want to take a chance on a pump. We don't have very good luck, and we want to make sure we're prudent in getting those repaired. Tom has put into place a process that is much improved over previous years, where his basin crew is looking at these all the pump stations on a regular basis, and I personally feel very much more confident in the system than I would have when I first came on board or before that. And I think it's because those guys are working diligent to check those things. They're hearing that rattle to know that there's a problem here we got to address. So this is why it's before you. It's not a common thing to bring something for ratification, except in this type of situation. I just felt it was an emergency need. And when we were talking at the time, Tom was able to get them down to about 3 weeks. We're now at less than 2 because we've already got a week under our belt with them at this point in time. So that's where I was looking from that point.
And we get ahead of any spring weather.
So I was going to add something so I can hopefully put people at ease, because I'm sure people are worried we're down a pump. We have 3 6-inch bypass portable pumps we do own. They are operable. If anything were to incur, our staff has already been told how to take care of that and bypass that station to help this first pump out to offset the second pump being out. So
we have an
we
emergency.
can handle it. Yes, we can handle it. We've had to put those out before. I'm sure some citizens may be listening. They're big blue pumps, and they've been seen out before. They can move a lot of water. Not as much as one pump, so it'd probably take 1 or 2 pumps to offset the one pump coming out.
I'm glad to hear we're being so proactive.
All right.
Any other questions? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Syke. Second by Mr. Valerius. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That has been approved. Now we move on to council comments. Don't all start at once.
I guess I'll begin today. I wanted to begin by addressing Miss White. My grandmother, she's 94 years old. She lives on Angelique, and she often is walking down Park Avenue. She walks, still 94 years old. She still gets in about 1 mile a day. She's pretty amazing person. So it is also a concern of mine, and I'm a runner, and if you see me running in the summer, you will see me running in the street for that very same reason. I know Mayor McLeod's also a walker. This is something that when in our first month as a council, we got together and we had like, what are our goals as a council? And this was something that we brought up in that very first meeting. So I just want to assure you that it is very much something that is on our radar. Mr. Kibbe has already, with the road millage plan, as we're going through and doing those replacing those roads where it's prudent to kind of do that, we're kind of actively trying to do that as we go. I just want you to know that that's something we hear you, and that it's something that is very much on our radar and that we're aware of and that we're working to address. So I wanted to start by assuring you that. In addition to that, we do have an election coming up, as Mr. Mizzi, I'm sure, will remind us here very soon. Apparently, we have new envelopes. I bet he'll be talking about that shortly. But one thing that I wanted to say, it is an exciting time having like the presidential primary. But I just kind of wanted to speak real quickly. We also have the DIA millage on there, and as an educator, that is something that I think has been, since we have passed that, I think that has been something that has been incredibly valuable to a community. Every Martin Luther King Day, the students have the day off, and I always tell them, I give them extra credit, some of them are here, if they go to a museum. And the Henry Ford is free on that day. But the cool thing is that the DIA to Wayne County residents is free every day. And on the outside of that building, it says, dedicated by the people of Detroit to the knowledge and enjoyment of all. And I think that is an incredibly powerful concept. it works out that if you have a $150,000 house, it works out to about $15 a year. And I think that that is an incredibly small price to pay. If you haven't gone to the DIA, if you don't take advantage of it, I think that it is one of the amazing things that we have, that we are right here by the highway, and then you can be 15, 20 minutes away from some world-class artwork. So I think that that is something that, not just speaking like, you know, I think it is an amazing thing to have access to art as an educator, but I also think that it is something that benefits this community. I think it's something that makes us a more desirable community, that we can say that we have world-class artwork that is just down the road from us. So I just want to encourage our residents to support that, because I think that that is a wonderful thing that we have available to our residents, to our students, to everybody here. And I encourage everybody to go out and vote and to support art for our community. So, thank you.
Okay, I'll go next. I don't have a lot tonight to say, which is probably unusual, but I do know that on Wednesday, February 19th, from 6 to 8 at Annapolis High School, there will be a town hall to discuss the Ecorse Creek and the watershed issues. Now, this is being put on by Congresswoman Rashid Tlaib, okay, and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. Now, there's probably going to be a few of them. It's between, they're going to have representatives from Wayne County, representatives from the Corps of Engineers, and since it hits all of us, and I would suggest if you have the ability to go, that you go and attend and listen, and to hear what they have to say and what we have to do to make the watershed itself, to improve upon its ability to deliver the water down the where it needs to go. And so, again, that was on Wednesday, February 19th from 6 to 8 at Annapolis High School. There will be some others throughout the following weeks, and we'll be able to let you know which ones those are. I see there's a lot of activities coming up at, so always take a look to our local Facebook pages and our DDA and our Elks and whoever else, because we're a good place to take and spend our time, and I enjoy it so much. And thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of you for coming, and good night.
I just want to take a moment and thank all our department heads. Again, the winter months are always rough on everyone, and just the great job you're doing in regards to taking care of everything. We've been lucky, knock on wood, with snowfall. We're supposed to get some snow, I think, tomorrow night. Hopefully enough for a snow day, hopefully. Fill the toilets with ice cubes and do all that other fun stuff.
Snow days, wait, hold on.
Exactly.
Tom, we don't allow for snow days. Tom's gonna make sure the roads are clear.
They could take their time. They could sleep in that day. That's okay. But I just wanted to extend a thank you to them, and also for all the students that are in attendance tonight and everyone that's here tonight. I thank you for your time, and have a good evening.
Well, I'll just be quick. A little under the weather lately, but I think that's finally done and over with. But I definitely want to give a big shout out, as my fellow councilman said, to all our departments in the city, everything they have done and will continue to do. And wanted to also say, last week I was fortunate to attend a Wayne County Town Hall by Prosecutor Kim Worthy, which she was able to tell all about the courts and what they're doing there. They're doing some amazing work, so I encourage you to definitely check out their website, or even really look at that. That was last week at Wayne County Community College in Taylor. Other than that, look forward to seeing everyone in a couple of weeks, and for those who celebrate Valentine's Day, have an amazing Valentine's Day, and see you in 2 weeks, or a week and a half.
I just want to say thank you all for coming. To the young man that came up with the street light, I remember always coming up here talking about the rope roads, especially county roads, and the lights and fixtures and stuff, you can always call 188 road crew, especially if there's any potholes. They can go fill, make note of it and go fill it up. I totally agree that we gotta keep supporting the arts, like Councilman Lloyd talked about. And I just want to say, keep up the good work to all the department heads and stay positive always. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for everybody to come tonight. And I kind of want to rebuttal a little bit of what Dan Lloyd said about the sidewalks. That's very true. On my habit used to be riding my bike around it. But I tell you what, some sidewalks really go up and down. At one time, I lived here for a long time, of course, but at one time there used to be a department that used to go around and mark the sidewalks and give the people, the resident, a choice, whether you fix the sidewalk in 30 days or we'll come and fix it. The city will come and fix it and you have to pay us or put it in the tax roll. And I think maybe, I don't know what happened to it, but I'm sure we'll be working on it. Just like Dan said, we are working together to get this resolved and ordinances and improve some of the other ordinances in Allen Park, which has been lacked on. But they're doing a good job. But all you have to do is really, if you got a problem with residents or something like that, or someone parked in the driveway close to the curb, call the city ordinance. They got a phone number, and you could call and report it. You got to report it. You got to keep reporting, or else if you don't report, there's no record of it. So that's one thing. And the other thing, we are having a parade. This is a good, on May the 17th, with the Community Affairs Committee and the Festivities Committees that will be helping us. I've made quite a few phone calls, and I'm looking pretty good. Hopefully, we'll get a good turnout. If we don't have a good turnout, well, next year we'll do better. We need more help. We get more help if we can. Other than that, and everything looks good to me. Good night.
Thank you. Well, the good or bad thing about coming last is that there's very little left to say without being redundant. But I do, for those of you who are not familiar, the agenda and all the information from these meetings is posted on our website, and I would encourage you to go take a look at some of the packets, because many of our departments and the DDA post some very interesting reports on there. You can see what some of the departments are doing, what they're encountering as far as DPS, fire, police. The DDA has a graphic, and I don't know, but as you're going around town, you really have to appreciate some of the changes that have occurred on some of the facades. The one that's in this week's report is with the old Arts Detroit down on E-Course, and there's a major change in just what was done to that building, and I think it's very impressive, not to mention some of the special events that go on. Getting back to that E-Course Creek Town Hall, that is a result of the Army Corps of Engineers study that was done, I think, maybe 10 years ago, and they're finally going to do something. It has to go through a long process, and I understand that they have gotten approval from Congress to finally start spending some money, and it's going to begin in Dearborn Heights, and I believe, if I recall, because I talked to one of their councilwomen last year, that they're due to start in 2021, and I think that is going to be the focus of the town hall. But I think it would be of great interest, particularly to our residents who are living in the area of the E-Course Creek. The other thing that we try and do is have constant communications with Wayne County to report any debris that falls into that creek so that we don't have natural dams that occur there, which causes more flooding in that neighborhood. So I think it would be beneficial for anyone who can make that town hall to do so. I know that we posted it on our city Facebook page. Please avail yourselves of all of the methods that we have to communicate with you. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you again to those of you who have volunteered to serve on our commissions. Your time is very, very much appreciated by all of us. Good night and happy Valentine's Day. May I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lally. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, meeting is adjourned.